Now, for those of you manifesting a specific person, and I know that many of you are, this is part 3 of how to get your specific person to conform, to treat you in the way that you wish to be treated, to change this relationship dynamic so that you are getting the respect, the love, the gratitude, whatever it is that you really want from this specific person. And remember from my previous videos, specific person could be anyone. It's not just somebody you want to date or an ex-partner. Could be that boss of yours, could be a work colleague, could be a family member, anything, someone that you are having a less than harmonious time with at the moment. You've had a falling out, or you're having hot and cold behavior, you're being treated with disrespect. How do we turn this around? I'm going to share more in this video. And for those of you that haven't seen part 1 and part 2 already, please do. There's some really key techniques and things that I have put into practice anytime I have wanted to manifest something out of a specific person, or change the relationship with a specific person, or have a relationship with a specific person. These are the processes that I've gone through during my journey, and what I'm using currently as well for my current SP manifestation. So we're all in this together. Let's join forces, and I hope you find this video clear and helpful on your journey. First up, let me introduce myself. I'm Athena Raven. I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach, here to empower you on your manifestation journey. Please do like and subscribe to the content. It really helps this small channel to grow, and I truly do appreciate you all for being here. Such a wonderful community that we have on my TikTok, on my YouTube. I'm so grateful. Your lovely comments, your wonderful experiences that you so graciously share with me. Please do share how you've been getting on. I'm always interested to know. And if you would like further one-to-one help, I do offer one-to-one coaching. Everything, all the information to my social medias, to my TikTok lives, if you want to join me there, to my coaching as well, it's all in the description box below. So in the previous videos, I had discussed about the importance of revision. When you have undesirable things happening between you and your specific person, you might need to revise certain incidents. And I saw a lot of quick changes happen every time I would revise things. Then, of course, I've shared a couple of techniques as well in my part 2 to help you to change the dynamic, how you imagine, how you see that person as well, to shift this relationship that you have. And now part 3, we're going to talk about inner talking. And I don't think a lot of people realize how important this is. But if your visualizations, your imaginal acts, your scripting, your techniques, whatever they are putting you in that state of being in that harmonious relationship with that specific person, or having that wonderful setup, that wonderful communication, whatever it might be, that's all great. But the rest of the day, your mind is just running wild with thoughts and inner conversations to the contrary of that. If that is the case, your inner talking is going to win over your visuals. Your inner talking is going to dominate, is going to cause a miscarriage of your end result. Your inner talking is going to manifest above everything. And unbeknownst to a lot of us, we're having inner conversations all the time. The more aware you become of this, the easier it is to change it. But in the first instance, it might be a little bit tricky. You're taming a wild horse here. Your mind has just been allowed to run with this 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day and conversations that you have. It feels so natural. It happens without you knowing it half the time. And so to become aware of that, and to really reel it in, and to train it, and to keep on changing it, and to be persistent with this, is really key. Now, I'm going to share something from one of Neville Goddard's lectures, to get my words out. Neville Goddard's lectures, where he talks about the importance of inner talking. And he gives an example here of a girl who had not so great relationship with her boss at the time, and how she changed it around with the use of her inner talking. And I've been working on my inner talking quite a lot. Also, I would ask you guys to be aware not only of what's going internally, but externally too as well. But we'll go into that in a bit. So, as Neville was saying in one of his lectures, one day, a girl told me of her difficulties in working with her employer. She was convinced that he unjustly criticized and rejected her very best efforts. Upon hearing her story, I explained that if she thought him unfair, it was a sure sign that she herself was in need of a new conversation piece. There was no doubt but that she was mentally arguing with her employer, for others only echo that which we whisper to them in secret. She confessed that she argued mentally with him all day long. When she realized what she'd been doing, she agreed to change her inner conversations with her employer. She imagined that he had congratulated her on her fine work and that she in turn had thanked him for his praise and kindness. To her great delight, she soon discovered that her attitude was the cause of all that had befell her. The behavior of her employer reversed itself. It echoed, as it had always done, her mental conversations with him. So you see, people have no choice but to conform to the state that you put them in. And we put others in a state all the time with our perceptions, our history with them as well. For those of you manifesting a specific person for a relationship, and that specific person is an ex or is someone you've been working up to a relationship with and you've been getting this hot and cold behavior, or they've mistreated you, it's really hard to get past all of that often. And what we tend to do, I'm sure you guys do this as well, because God knows I do it as well, I'll be having these inner arguments with them, and it kind of feels good. And a lot of the time, you're not just reliving the arguments that you actually had in real life. You are elaborating it and changing it around. Oh, I would have said this, and this is what I would say to them. This is what they would say back to me. And we are imagining this throughout the day. And sometimes you're having a shower, you're on autopilot, relaxed, and you're arguing with that person in your mind. And then, of course, what happens? You keep them locked in that state, and that's what they end up, that's how they end up treating you. And this is why we see little movement with our SPs. This is why we see little conformity going on. What is your inner talking doing? Are you arguing with them all day long? In which case, you've got to stop it. Do not finish that argument. Do not continue with it. Right, I've noticed it. Take a step back. What is the conversations that we would be having? I'm in that harmonious relationship now. Remember, we are living from having that desire now, not thinking of it. It's not a separate entity to us. Remember, with this whole process of manifesting a specific person, or manifesting anything for that matter, this self-concept, this idea you have of yourself, is the version of you that is in this harmonious situation with that specific person, whoever they might be. So we need to establish this, and we need to make this firm within our mind. It's no point having your mind thinking one thing and your inner talking thinking another. Remember, through the Hermetica, these ancient texts, these tablets of Hermes, it states that we've been gifted with mind and speech, which makes us equivalent to the immortals. And if your mind and speech is not in harmony, then it stands to reason why a lot of you are not seeing this change, this conformity happening with your specific person. So, okay, you've got the mind in gear, you're imagining it differently, but what is your inner talking doing for the rest of the day or before you go to bed? Are you keeping track of what that's doing? Stop the argument, stop the negative talk in your mind and change it. Because if you had that desire now, you wouldn't still be arguing the old arguments in your mind. You would be filling your inner talking with gratitude at how wonderful they've been and how kindly they've been treating you, and the loving things they've been saying, the loving things that you would be saying back to them as well. This harmony that you want to create right now. This is why we're on this journey, right? We're creating harmony with that specific person, that love, that connection, whatever it might be, the respect. So be mindful of that. And also, whatever your inner talking is doing is going to be reflected in your verbalization, your speech, your external talking. I find this too. Many's the time I've caught myself about to say something negative, or about to focus on the lack with SP, about to state how, they ignored me again today. They've been hot and cold today, and I was expecting they were going to treat me like this. What am I doing? Stop that. Zip it. No, hang on. I know everything is going to be fine. They're a wonderful person. They prioritize me as I prioritize them, and change that talking. You might have to choose your audience wisely, of course. You don't want to be coming across delusional and crazy to your friends. But remember, you don't want to be bad-mouthing them and talking about them in that old state. That's the old state. We are killing that off. Kill off the old man. You cannot occupy two states at the same time. You cannot be in this state of abundance and being in this loving committed relationship, this loving situation with that specific person, and then at the same time having these mental and inner and external conversations going on to the contrary of that. Everything has to be in harmony the whole time. Everything is about living from that desire. You're gifting yourself with the desire now. Remember, everything is here and now. Creation is finished. We are here to occupy the states right now. This isn't about getting your SP. We're doing this to get the SP and get them to conform. The reality here is shifting that self-concept, that awareness of yourself, becoming the person who has that desire already. And then as a result of that, as a byproduct of that, you manifest these things into your life. You manifest these harmonious relationship, this loving commitment, this respect and gratitude and whatever you might want. So keep this in mind. What is your inner conversation doing? What is your external conversation doing as well? This is truly, truly key to manifesting successfully and to getting people to treat you in the way you wish them to treat you as well. So keep that in mind. I hope this was helpful. And thank you so much for joining me on this video. Sending you guys all the love.